Hey guys! So today is January 17th, 2014, and this day actually has some special significance for me because 20 years ago, on January 17th, 1994, I was in LA, or more specifically the San Fernando Valley, when the 1994 Northridge earthquake hit. I was obviously a lot younger then, considering it was 20 years ago, but I was old enough to still be able to remember a lot now. So the earthquake happened at 4:31 a.m., and I actually was at a friend's house because we were having a sleepover. So it was funny because we were actually watching this Bruce Lee movie the night before. About It is a movie about Bruce Lee, and there was some sequence in there about like an earthquake happening, and some crazy stuff happens in some dream. And so when it actually happened, I thought it was a dream. I thought I was like in the movie or something. But then I woke up and then everything was shaking and it was super scary. So then we got out of bed and we stood in the doorway, which I think they tell you not to do anymore, but yeah, we stood in the doorway. The whole earthquake took about 30 seconds, but it felt like a really, really long 30 seconds because it was super scary. Everything was shaking all around us, stuff was falling over, and it was just really, really jarring because the whole world around us was shaking. We had no idea what the extent of the damage was going to be, or when it was going to stop, or if it was going to, get stronger. Like, it was just really, I don't know, it was just disorienting and really scary. Anyway, after the shaking stopped, we spent a couple of hours in my friend's parents' car, in the back seat and with a blanket over us, so just to keep warm and to stay away from things that could fall on us. We did that until about 6 or so, and then my parents actually came because my friend actually only lived a mile away from us. So they came to pick me up and then they took me home. My house was obviously a huge mess when I got home. Everything was like all over the floor. There were so many like broken dishes and broken mugs and stuff. It was just kind of a war zone in the kitchen. And then in the backyard, we have a swimming pool, and half of the water was actually like dumped out during the shaking. So the entire backyard was completely wet, and the water level of the pool was super low. So it was really crazy. Also, there's this wall between my neighbor's house and my house, and the earthquake actually damaged it quite a bit. A lot of the bricks fell down and everything. So it was actually structurally not safe anymore. And we didn't actually even get that fixed until this last year. So it was almost 20 years until we finally fixed that wall. But it was actually a pretty good way for us to get to know our neighbors because I don't think we even knew our neighbors very well before the earthquake, but then during the earthquake, we actually got to know them really well because the neighbors on the other side had a trailer. So I remember the first couple nights after the earthquake, there was like a lot of power outages and stuff, and so we were relying on our neighbors and their trailer in order to cook dinner. So they would like make us jambalaya and everything, and it was a really good bonding experience. You always bond with people when you share sort of these harrowing times, these like hard experiences and stuff. Anyway, for about a week, I think that my family slept in the front room on the floor next to the front door. So like we would sleep in sleeping bags because we wouldn't go upstairs to the bedrooms because we weren't sure like if there were aftershocks, whether the house would collapse or anything, and we wanted to be able to get out of the house in time. So we actually slept in sleeping bags for like a week or so. And anytime that there was any kind of aftershock during the night, we would like all run out the door and everything, and then wait for things to settle down and then go back to sleep. I don't remember how many days I got off from school, but I do remember that once I went back to school, I had to like make a project or write a paper or something about the earthquake, and it was sort of this big deal. There was this whole like earthquake mania happening. Everyone was really afraid that the 6.6 or 6.8 on the Richter scale earthquake that we had and January 17th was just sort of the beginning, and we were all afraid that the big one was coming. I actually was quoted in the Daily News as a newspaper in LA. I was actually quoted in the paper by saying like, oh, I was like, just really afraid that it wasn't the big one. I was already scared by just this one, and it's not the big one. Like, what does that even mean? But it's funny because like I was quoted in the paper, and I actually sadly don't even have a copy of that paper. Anyway, those are my memories from the earthquake, and it's just been 20 years, and so it was on my mind. I guess that's it for now, so I'll see you guys next week. I'm totally winning. Bye.